Hi, welcome back to another uh, award-winning episode of Comic Book Business News, the review show for that covers the comic book industry. Don't worry, we don't have any outs. We are not cannot be controlled or bought. So, I would for my first comic book I would like to review. The little manga I picked up. It is about martial artists. This is was kind of a Nazi martial artist. Kind of typical Japanese graphic novel. Digest some of the newer stuff that's been out. I haven't really. I don't think it's one of the best, but I would give it at least 2 stars. Also, somebody gave this to me when I made a purchase. The VIS Sampler. These are things you might get sometimes when you make big purchases. These are often given out by Barnes and Noble. So next time you're at Barnes and Noble and make a big purchase, you might get one of these. There's a new issue of Wonder Woman and Aries as a superhero, which is a new take since Aries is often depicted in Wonder Woman as a villain. So this is a more positive take on Aries, who is often a villain in Wonder Woman comic books. Wonder Woman Come Back to Me, a sort of interesting Wonder Woman miniseries, brand new, not not a traditional Wonder Woman comic book. Hey, oh well, I suggest it. Justice League Dark, a new Justice League series. Justice League is actually this is actually centers on the magical Justice League's on the magical Justice League members like Doctor Fate, Zatanna, and Wonder Woman. So this is a interesting one. This was a friend of mine did. I or colleague. This is Jay Taylor and Mike Frigione's local indie about it's a sci-fi epic stuff on the Square Comics second printing. So this is the second printing of their achievements. This is Avengers War of the Realms. New Avengers series based on the fact that there is the creatures from the Thor comic book have taken over the world and made Midgard like a realm of ran by gods and elves and dwarves. It's kind of an interesting. So Europe is run by frost giants, and North America is run by other people. SpiderMan City at War. This is a gamerverse. The video games associated with Spider-Man get their own comic book. This is kind of interesting. Hey, my Spider-Man video games, I could read Spider-Man comic book based on the video games I play, finally. There's every kind of Spider-Man comic now. Superman up in the sky. A brand new Superman comic book. There is now so many different titles based on the Man of Steel. This one has Andy Kubert as the artist and is kind of a good one. Andy Kubert's dad has that famous art college up north. It's kind of a cool comic book. And I give it a 4 out of 5. Superman 13. This comic book is the classic Superman title. I think the second or third relaunching of it. And Brian Michael Bendis as head writer. It's a pretty good book. Amazing Spider-Man 826. We are getting up there in Spider-Man. We are almost Spider-Man 1 grand. This is getting to be one of those lengthy titles. It's one of those big American institutions. Amazing Spider-Man. It's almost like Action Comics or Detective Comics. We recently had Marvel comic books 1 grand, which is, I think, symbolic. It is not really the Marvel comic books. That was recently came out. Action Comics 1011. This is another Titanic issue of Superman. This is called the VIS and Superman Fights Monster. This is another Titanic issue. Wonder Woman 74. This is Wonder Woman 74. Interesting issue of Wonder Woman. It is the 74th issue of the current series. It's actually pretty interesting. Detective Comic Books 1007. This is another American institution. They are institutions because they have been in prints consistently for decades and decades without break. So this is not like a little comic book that has to take a break. This is a unbroken chain of comic books. So I am soon doing Philadelphia Comic Con, which is an indie and underground convention in the Shambles in Old City, Philadelphia, sort of near Old City and South Street. I am also doing Baltimore Con, which is probably the third or fourth biggest convention on the East Coast after New York Comic Con and San Diego. And so next week I will see you again. Peace.